Welcome to Film Talk. It's Tiffany Simple, and this is the show where if it has anything to do with film, we're talking about it. Joined by my amazing co-host,
Alvin G. Morris.
Independence Georgie. Hi.
Guys, we are here to talk about
I want your weapons.
How you wanna play?
Your secrets.
Ops on the radar.
It's all mine now. Is this your king? This ends today.
world-renowned Black Panther.
Wakanda forever.
$1 billion worldwide.
It's a hard yes for me.
It's like an extreme Wakanda forever for me.
It was great. It was really, really good. Like, really was. Fantastic Marvel film.
So 3 unanimous yeses, right? So for me, I know why it was good to me, but why was it good to you, Independence?
Because, okay, I'm African, so this movie was very
that would make
close to
sense.
That's close to your heart, right?
It was very close to my heart because growing up, everybody assumed we lived in huts when I moved here from Nigeria. So it's very nice to show how Africans are in a kind of way, even though it was fictional, in a kind of way it did show that we do have a level of civilization. We don't live in huts or swing around
Right.
in trees, you know?
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved everything it stood for. I loved every single thing. The black women cast.
Yes.
The bald, the natural hair.
Yes.
I will never be there, but
What?
I stand for all the natural women. That
No, you sit for them. You
no,
sit for
I
them.
can't sit for them, girl. I got a weave in my hair. I can't sit for them. Okay. But I still like that though.
What about you, Joe?
Well, I think one of the reasons why I really liked it is that in and of itself, you know, it's a fantastic Marvel film. It stood right up there with all the rest of them in terms of quality, what you'd expect. But what's more important is that representation matters.
Absolutely.
And that's what you have there. You have a fantastic superhero film that appeals to a specific culture, African culture, and I mean, it just hit it right out of the park with that, you know? And everything that went into the story was directly representation of that. You know, the weapons that they used, the ceremonies that happened in it, it was all very reminiscent of things you could find culturally appropriate to
Very
Africa.
close, very
And so,
close.
I mean, and it was great. I loved every aspect of it.
No, seriously, it really represented everything about Africa. The tribes are real, because I'm Igbo, there's Yoruba, there's Awusa. Everything was real about what they did their research and their work.
Gotcha.
You know, this is what shows when you give investment and give money and say, listen, do what you can do and I'm gonna trust you.
Yeah.
And I love that Marvel did that. They did an excellent job.
Well, for me, before I actually went to go see the movie, and everyone was talking about, because I went a week late, because I just didn't want to deal with the hustle and bustle. I went a week late, but hearing how everyone was like trying to get to Wakanda for real, like everybody was trying to get there, and I'm like, what is going on with this movie? What would make someone really try to locate Wakanda? Well, I found myself doing this very thing after I saw the movie.
She wanna go to
Because,
Wakanda.
I mean, seriously, this was such an empowering movie.
It was.
On so many levels. The subliminals, the messages that were deeply embedded to me, for every culture.
Really, for everybody.
Like, you know, there was so many messages. And I think the biggest takeaway for me was the camaraderie of our people coming together from this movie. There was a certain unification that said, hey, let's show us being united again for a great cause.
Yeah.
And the colors in the movie,
It was vibrant.
the fashion.
Okay, speaking of fashion, I'm glad she said that because I feel like this really brought out the dashiki.
Oh my goodness.
The dashiki culture, which it's not called dashiki, okay? They call it traditional. All of you guys call it dashiki, it's not dashiki. But yes, it brought that. I felt so honored to see people in movie theaters dressed in headgear that I would normally wear as my culture.
Right.
I love the fashion it brought out.
So
Love it.
this movie was about the passing along of king, I guess royalty. How would you describe that?
It is royalty in a sense, passing along the next generation.
Passing the torch, almost, and about a country that has survived on their own, from their own resources, not needing or wanting any help from outside resources and creating a lifestyle of wellness. To me, I feel like that
Wealth, prosperity.
peace, was very, and respect. Like respect was really big, especially the scene where the challenge, when the families respected the authority from T'Chaka's father. Like, no, we're not challenging. To me, that, and they could have if they wanted to, but the respect that was there, the elders' representation. So this movie was about
So many levels.
Black people understanding, and every element of Black people understanding where they come from. And although this was a fictional movie, it had a lot of real attributes to it.
Yeah, touched on very real things.
Yeah.
Extremely.
I feel like this movie implemented the segregation between Black Americans and Africans, because there is a big segregation. As an African, I grew up where my parents always enforced, you're not a Black American. Never forget that. You were African.
Right.
So it kind of challenged that dynamic as well. There was a lot of subliminal shots and messages in there. If you didn't get it the first time, watch it the second time. I promise you'll get it.
Go check out the movie Black Panther. And we have been talking Film Talk. Congratulations on your $1 billion.
Woo! Can I get some money?
Check us later. Wakanda forever.
Wakanda!
Step into the spotlight. You are a good man. Step into the spotlight with a good heart. And it's hard for a good man to be a king.
The revolution will be live.
Welcome to another edition of Film Talk. If it has anything to do about film, we talk about it.
Yes, we are.
I am your host, Tiffany Simple, joined by my amazing co-host,
Alvin G. Morris.
Independence Georgie.
and today we have an amazing interview by Houston's own Jay McDonald,
Yes.
Michelle Doucette, and Mika Diamond. Shine,
Welcome,
girl.
welcome.
Yes.
So, this film, 6, is a drama series filmed right here in Houston, H-Town.
Yep.
What inspired this?
It's a lot of things that inspired it. It started off as a book series, and after being given a runaround by a lot of publishers, the split was always in their favor. I reached out to a couple of people, and we decided to turn it into a drama series. It was based off of people I know, things we went through coming up.
Right. And Jay is the writer, producer, and director of 6. So you wore a lot of hats.
That's just one of them.
Just one of them. Nice hat, by the way. Michelle Doucette, you were the project manager or production manager?
Production manager, yes.
So what did that look like for you in this series?
Well, originally, Jay came to me with the book series, and I agreed. Ultimately, it was Houston starved for something new, so we needed a series, and I put the hat on. I originally came on as a cast member. I was supposed to be just doing the acting, but when the duty calls, I took it. So
That's
we
right.
needed to convert it into to script form. Did that and did the casting and made it happen.
So you helped out with the casting too.
Wow,
Good
you're
job.
amazing. I need to
Right,
know.
right.
Stepping up. Stepping up.
Transitioning, yeah, the
She went from
transitioning,
actress
yeah.
to like full-on boss. Let's go.
Mika Diamond,
Oh yes, Diamond. I like that.
the partnered executive producer, right? Yes, ma'am. You know, Mika, I already know you personally wear a lot of hats, and this is not new to you, being a part of a film production, but what would you say set yourself apart from your other experiences and this particular drama series?
The passion of the cast members, of course. I also saw that Jay was really passionate about the series and passionate about the growth and the exposure of the cast, which is something that I've always been about, the growth of people. I've been passionate about that. So when we actually initially spoke about the series, a couple of months, years passed, but we back, joined forces. God aligned our paths. So that's what was different for me this time. You know, he was passionate about it and business oriented, and that was
Makes
the,
a huge
the first
difference.
Yeah.
I spent my entire life hustling. I mean, you name it, I've done it. And when my daughter was born, I decided to leave the game. I left her without nothing to show for it. But I was good, happy. Spending time with my daughter and trying to do this music thing. And hopefully something to pan out. And then they killed my cousin.
What up, Judge? I'm gonna need y'all to come down as soon as possible. Y'all don't trust these cats, man.
What happened to us going after the people that's responsible for killing Rick?
We got them niggas that killed Rick.
We got the ones that killed Rick. What about the ones responsible for killing him? They picked the wrong house. They touched the wrong family. You can't just take something from us. That's not who the fuck we are.
They can steal everything.
Nothing, son.
That's the reason why we haven't wrapped this up.
We shot a fucking cop.
And it's a lot bigger than just a homicide. It's a lot behind this.
Show me.
So what you wanna do? Go at them. Go at their neighbors. Go at their friends. Go at their family. Go at their family dog. The fucking pastor. And we don't stop until we find out who's fucking responsible.
And that will be your downfall.
What's that?
You find the need to try to solve everybody's problem. Sometimes you just have to let go and let God.
That's not who we are.
I have a question. So when it comes to the casting process, who all was in charge of finding the talent? And did you find it all here in Houston, or did you go outside of the town for that?
Casting was a little tricky. So when we first came up with at first it was just me by myself. I was trying to do everything. So I was just reaching out. You might find me in your inbox. I was just jumping in your inbox, telling you, and people thought I was a creep.
Sliding
A lot of
into
people
the
thought jumping in the DM, and people thought I was a creep. And actually, the idea for me to cast in Houston was actually it came from Jeff Clanagan and Michael Campbell. When I went to them with the production, saying I wanted to film this, they told me, film it in Houston. You have a lot of people out there, a lot of untapped talent out there. Film it and see what you get. I held an audition. By that, I think at that point, I'm not sure. I think I had already recruited Michelle already. So then you might find both of us in your DM. Everybody got recruited from Houston, and it was hard at first because people don't take you serious. Because a lot of women, y'all face that problem of
Getting DM creepy.
a guy telling
Is
you
this
to
for
come
real?
Yeah.
Can I trust you? Like,
Right.
what
Is this a scam? How you get me
Exactly,
there?
and that's when I would slide her in your DM.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I mean, literally, and then it got to the point where I was like, you know what? Why don't we just get in these acting groups and just say that, hey, we're with a cast of 6, and we're trying to cast people for, a TV series. And then eventually it was like we started to get a better outcome because one of the people's DMs, we didn't realize that with Facebook, sometimes our messages don't even get read.
Right, right.
I don't even check my
Yeah,
Facebook.
it became like a whole post thing. So we started posting about it. And then once we posted about it, it was like we got more feedback, and then it was like once the auditions came up, we had a nice little turnout. So it was like, oh, okay, well, bump your head one time, you got nerve.
It's always good when you can get FaceTime with people. Then they can put a face to a name, and that's the way to do it.
Right.
I think the turnout got better because when we first did the auditions, I flew Derek Gregory down here and Mike Campbell came down, and no one believed they was gonna be there.
Right.
Derek Gregory from Single Ladies. Gotcha.
So when I flew him down and we started posting it and people saw that he was actually there, then our DMs start blowing up.
People
Back then, you ain't know me. Now you all on me.
Working the system now. There you go.
That's
Listen,
normally how it works.
Right. And
really,
I mean,
Michelle, now this question is directed to you, AKA Lyric.
yes, ma'am.
They know her as Lyric. So, your character, how did you, what would you say, transcend and become your character? Was it easy for you? Were you relatable? Is it something
Very difficult, to be honest with you, because
Really?
my character is completely opposite of who I am as a person.
Really?
Like, completely opposite.
Okay, give us a little-
The only thing that I say we do have in common is the fact that we're both mothers.
Okay.
So, I mean, that made it a little bit easier because I know how it is, you know, in dealing with children. But Nettie is the lost mother, you know what I'm saying? She's the one who didn't really have too much guidance. Myself, as a mother, I mean, my mom, I actually have 2 moms, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, when my dad got remarried, my mom and my stepmom both took, you know, the full role in making sure that I knew what my children would need, you know what I'm saying, the motivation and all that other stuff. Nettie, on the other hand, who is Jay's sister, she, you know, she was lost, you know what I'm saying? She didn't have that type of guidance. So me having to step into that character, I literally had to take 2 steps back and imagine myself in the case that as if I had no children, pretty much. And then it was an advantage for me because I read the book. So I knew a little bit more about her. And then when Jay actually, you know, gave me like a little more feedback on, you know, what, you know, it took to be Nettie, I was like, oh, okay, I got this, I can do this.
Okay.
So I made her me.
So you held your own.
Yes.
Would you
Of
say
course,
she
I
did?
brought some me into her, but yeah, I had to.
She did good.
She did?
She had to, like she said, she had to bring some of her, because her and Nettie are 2 totally different people. So it was time she'd come to the set and I'd be like, what are you wearing? What is that? Like, you're dressed way too nice. What are you wearing? But you had to let her do that in order for her to get the character right.
Yeah, make the mistakes and find her way into it.
You know, she didn't budge on the dress code. She was sticking with it.
Wow, really?
Yeah, she
How
would
was
not-
that?
She would not change. I'm like, you can't wear that. You got to dress more
Thottish?
hood. No. Nettie's far from thottish. Nettie's not
Yeah,
thottish.
her character is far from that, but it
She's
was
more
more
of
so
a street girl.
t-shirt and big old jeans.
Big old jeans and stuff like that.
Right.
And she was more the little preppy, you know, she came in there with some $200 Pumas on.
Girl, where you shopping at?
See, look,
You were
again,
not selling the role.
I tried.
If that made her comfortable, I was okay with it. Made her comfortable to pull the scene off, then whatever it takes.
Okay, so now my question is for Ms. Diamond. Yes. Now, I read a synopsis of 6. I also had the honor of being able to attend that Hollywood premiere, like
I'm
literally.
jealous. I'm really jealous.
Man, the red carpet, all the bells and whistles, and I know that you run that PR side real heavy. But let me ask you this: the family struggling to be a family. Give us some more insight on 6, because I love the fact that it's a family struggling to be a family, because that right there says a lot. But when someone asks you, what is this drama series about? What do you say?
Well, I often say that it's a storyline that any family can relate to based on their own personal experiences, or they know someone who has gone through the experiences that they have. It's a multiple amount of things, a lot of twists and turns, but ultimately somebody knows exactly what that storyline is. So I would say it's a touching storyline. It's one that many people who are able to see it will take some type of I want to say educational piece behind it, and know that even though that there are struggles, that you can't get through the struggles based on the series. So
Nice, thank you.
Awesome.
Well, we will be right back with our amazing guests, so don't go nowhere. We're still talking film.
You better not.
What we got?
We got a young boy, William King, shot in the chest multiple times, and he's in critical condition.
Ain't that the 3rd Ward? You're a long way from the hood, boy.
We have yet another young black brother, unarmed, shot by so-called law enforcement.
He may think it's safe over there with John and them white folks, but your ass come up missing, them white folks like they ain't seen nothing.
All rise for Judge Wilson.
There's no reports that show that you know Officer Stevenson called dispatch before you approached the individual.
You put your family up for collateral in this trial. For a racist and a murderer.
Does this hoodie make me look like a thug? How about now?
It's just an accident. It's just an accident. Come on, man. Come on, man. Don't shoot, man. Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
We're back.
Yes, we are. Did you miss us?
They better miss us.
We're talking film.
We're
Stay with us
talking
here, okay?
film. Exactly. Jay.
That's me.
That is you. How can you tell the viewers that are watching how they can access this drama series? What do they have to look forward to? Because there's multiple, it's a series, right? So where can they access it and how soon?
Okay, so that's a little bit into lyrics department, but I can answer the question. So what we're gonna do is, what you saw at the premiere was actually the first 3 episodes.
Okay.
So we're just gonna start loading the episodes online, let everybody get out to go. So we was actually gonna premiere it again because a lot of people didn't get to see it. But we're not gonna do that because then you still have to wait to see what's coming next. So we're gonna drop the episodes online and then keep going forward. But the season finale, we're gonna put it back in the theaters again.
Nice.
Awesome.
We're just gonna put it into more theaters.
Oh, good.
We'll do more. We're not just gonna do River Oaks. I think we'll do a couple of more this time.
Yeah, y'all was on the high end.
Right? They were
River
Oaks.
Nothing ordinary about y'all.
Not
huh?
ordinary.
We're
Listen.
gonna go a little bit more too. Just
Okay.
do some more.
Okay.
And we sold out.
Sold out. Sold out. Let us know what you guys have coming up next.
Yes. What do you have next?
We have another production that we're gonna start working on. It's gonna star myself and Derek Gregory, and I don't know if we're gonna shoot that one in Houston or LA. I'm shooting for Houston.
Yeah, because I like the audition.
You
Thank
gotta
you.
get in
Keep
there.
it local.
It's gonna be the title is gonna be called She's Not Perfect.
Ooh.
It had a more controversial title at first, but they made me change it.
Well,
It must have been
Has to be
real
publicly-
controversial.
Not family friendly?
I thought it was. It was
Publicly
called.
correct?
It was called Be a Better something else. And they didn't. They were like, no, you got to change it. So we changed it to She's Not Perfect.
I'm excited about this. Maybe I will
She's
audition
not
too.
perfect.
And that one will star Derek Gregory and myself.
Well, real quick, what is it about?
You know how y'all women have a lot of self-help movies like what's that Steve Harvey took to play that game, and all, but all that's a bunch of games and lies. So we're gonna give you the man's perspective. So
Look at you trying to help the people out.
Just more lighthearted.
I'm trying to help the
Just
sisters
it's
out
actually
here.
gonna be it's really gonna be a
us.
chick flick.
For it is? Oh my God, I'm excited.
It's really gonna be a chick flick.
I love it.
It's
Will
more
the
comedy,
auditions be
more
here?
comedy related, or is it
It's
drama?
it's gonna be comedy because we're always natural when we write.
Right.
So it's gonna be comedy in there, but it's really a chick flick. We're gonna go through relationships and we're gonna show you guys what you did wrong.
What we doing
did
wrong?
wrong.
Got it. Oh, help
From a
is
man's
on the way, ladies. Help is on the
I'm
way.
tired of y'all taking advice from women with no relationship.
No Instagram.
Make me give you a
Basically,
high
no more
five here on
Instagram
the set,
advice.
okay? Thanks, I'm Tiffany Simple.
Independence Georgie.
Alvin G. Morris.
And we'll check you later on Film Talk.
Bye.